Hey everybody, Stonesey here for Rockfiend. I'm with Baz Adam from Massive Wagons. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's going great, mate. Yeah.
We've just been talking about the weather, but we're sitting inside. But the sun's out in Scotland.
That's not the sun.
No, it's not the sun. It's not the sun. So you're on tour. How's it going so far?
Amazing. Yeah. Every night has been a massive step up to anything we've done before. Really, it's been London was. Well, apart from London, up until tonight, was the most tickets we've ever sold for our own show, and was the biggest headline gig we've ever done until tonight. So tonight is going to be the biggest one, which I had no doubt it would be in Scotland. Ever since we started playing 10 years ago, every time we ventured north, there was always Scotland. Scotland was always that little bit more. If there was 200 people in England, there'd be 300 people buying tickets in Scotland every time. Crazy.
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, back years ago, I lived in Kinloss for a while. I was in the RAF, and used to got loads of gigs in Glasgow, and he's always then. Everybody would say, all the artists at the time would say they love coming to Scotland because the live atmosphere in Scotland, the crowds is just like nothing else. Barrowlands, it's fantastic.
I think people let themselves go a little bit more. And not to say it doesn't happen anywhere else, but it fairly consistently happens in Scotland. So I don't know. It's just great. Like Baz said, it's somehow just a great atmosphere. I think live music is still a bigger part of people's lives.
Well, there's certainly so many venues in Scotland right now, especially in Glasgow where we are tonight.
Yeah.
10 years though, you know that sounds like a long time, but it seems to be quick for me. Yeah, you think it's longer? Yeah.
Feels longer.
It's probably because you're on the road so much, though.
Oh,
but
maybe.
you know, how does it feel that 10 years and what you've achieved now from when you started out?
Yeah, well, I mean, when we started, we were really green. It was really all new, and it's all been brand new. We never came from any other bands, so right at the start, we were finding our feet for the first 4 or 5 years, and then it's always been going up a bit like that, you know. And while it's always been going up in whatever area of what we're doing, it's always been interesting, but the last year and a half in particular has gone up. Things have gone up more than they have done in the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah So you know, and I think a lot of bands they get to 4 or 5 years in and lose faith and don't want to carry on. I can understand that. We've been there, but we just don't know when we're beaten. Just keep going.
I was going to ask why. So it's about commitment, motivation.
Yeah.
Stubborn.
Hard to kill.
Hard to kill.
we like it. We really enjoy it, and it just so happens time's rolled by, and it's been 10 years, and it's taken 10 years for things to take off.
Like Baz said, there's been small breakthroughs, kind of frequently, you know, frequently enough to keep us interested. But in the last 18 months, it seems the traction has kind of really got hold of something, and now it's paying off. We've worked very hard to get any success we've had, so now it's maybe starting to happen a bit quicker.
Yeah.
We feel not just like you're kind of justified, you know. It's like we're not cheated or anything, you know. So
I mean, the last 18 months, there's some significant things have happened in the last 18 months, and I've witnessed a few of them. I saw you at Download.
Oh right, aye. Yeah,
I mean, I stood at the back of that tent and thought, oh, fucking hell, you know, excuse my language, children. But what was that like as an experience?
Don't remember it, to be honest. It was because it was such a short set and the adrenaline was so up, and it what was it, 25 minutes?
20 minutes.
But it was just like a whirlwind.
Like
You
2 minutes,
went into that tent and you were spat out, and it was just like, bloody hell, that was good, you know.
Crazy.
But
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then the album.
And the album,
The Phil Nelson. I mean, I think it's always useful to look at social media. And we look at social media to gauge the reaction to things, but the reaction has been fantastic, and not just in rock circles. It's been broader than that, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's, well, that's. I think that's what we try and do. We try and write music that's accessible to other people, and I think it comes across like that. You know, accessible rock music, because not everybody's into rock music, but I think deep down everybody likes a good song and a good melody and good lyrics to sing along to, and I think we're quite lucky. We played at through Earache. We managed to play at a festival called Boomtown, which was down south somewhere, and that's predominantly electronic music and drum and bass and dance music.
Okay.
But Earache, being Earache, and they're incredible. They had a tent with metal and punk and rock bands in, and we played there, and there's people in there they were loving it.
Yeah.
It was great. See, that just shows people like good music.
It's accessible, and that's what the album is. That's what the album is.
I like to think so, anyway.
And did it not get top 40 success?
Yeah, 16.
Wow.
It went in at 12, which was like, I know it's not the final position, but at the beginning of the week, I was like, my God.
From pre-sales, we were sort of hoping for a top 40. It was looking feasible, so anywhere in the top 40 would have been ecstatic with. And then
we tried to set ourselves a goal. You know, we thought, well, you know, it might. Whether you think it's achievable or not, you've got to set yourself a target. And some bands had managed to grace the top 40, Glorious and whatnot, Stonebroken, and we thought, well, you know, why not? We'll have a go. We'll get in the top 40. How good would that be? And it's 16, yeah.
And for people of a certain vintage, and I'll say me and not you guys, because obviously younger than me, that Top of the Pops, you know, was a thing back then, and the top 40 was such a big part of everybody's lives. Yeah. So that's an achievement, you know.
Yeah,
well, you know, it's kind of, however insignificant, it's cemented some record of you in history, hasn't it?
Yeah,
You're part of music history, really.
I mean, it's hard to do that now with the way people don't really take a chance on music anymore. So you have to have X amount of people to hit, say, the top 10, top 20, go out that week and want to buy your album. So it does show, you know, it is relevant to your kind of popularity. You know, it's quite, especially if the Ed Sheerans of the world, where it's all over the, you know, the counters in Asda and whatever. You know, they'll hang around for a while because it's constantly pushed in people's face. But for bands like ours, you have to sort of strike while the iron's hot. It's really cool to have had so many people go out and buy the music.
It's good to have a EREC as well, who have a great PR know-how. You know, they put a PR plan in place, and it all just comes together at the right time, and it makes a massive difference. It was the fact that it was the run up to it, the fact that we brought it out on vinyl and all these different colours and these different styles of vinyl and whatnot, and it's like all these vinyl things on Instagram and social media are all coming up. This week's new vinyl releases, and you get a video and it's amazing. Vinyl, it just went crazy. I think we got like
number two in the
vinyl chart as well.
Yeah. And vinyl is such a resurgence, isn't it? I mean, Record Store Day was it last week?
We taped cassettes next. Do you watch?
Well, I did. We covered a show. And
I'll be cool again.
And there was tapes for sale. You know, and some people were going, you know, what are those?
Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. They've just released their new album on tape cassette.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
It's all. It is.
It was Yellow Cake. That was the band that released it.
Yellow Cake.
Yeah. Anyway, so the fan base is hugely important to achieve what you've just spoken about. You know, the fact that the album cover is on the gable end of a building is just. So how did that happen? I mean, that was unprecedented.
Well, again, we were talking EREC. We were talking about PR and what could we do to PR the album and some nifty ideas, and they came up with the idea. They said, look, we've had this idea for a while and never been able to do it anywhere. Have a look around and see if you can find anywhere. As it would happen, the pub where we always played for years. I was driving around the one-way system around town, and that bloody building next door had been knocked down. It just stopped at these lights. It was one of them. Yeah. Like some out of Wayne's World. Yes, it's a sign. It's there. And then we contacted them, the people that own the pub. And they own the building. Huh? They own it. Perfect. So we thought, and they were like, yeah, no worries. Do what you want. So there.
And did that go smoothly?
No, the council.
I seem to remember somebody being upset. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to drag this back up again, but yeah, it was it was a dispute over whether it was advertisement. We genuinely never saw it like that. We saw it as a bit of a promotional stunt, I suppose. Yeah. Which I guess.
But we just wanted to paint. We wanted the pub to benefit as well.
Yeah.
And you know, we've always pushed that place, and always said we always played there a lot. That was kind of our home a bit, really. Okay. So it made sense. We thought we want to make this place a bit of a home, you know.
Yeah. And
we've just painted the album cover on the side. There was no release date, so by now.
So it was a gesture for the pub had been good to you, and a symbol of success.
That and you know, sort of PR stunt. Yeah. I suppose I can see they could think it was advertising, and I suppose in a way, it was.
Well, as it happened, the fuss all that caused ended up being the biggest advertising.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
It was.
No, so
that kicked it off. I ended up on Radio Lancashire talking to Graham Liver in the breakfast show about it, just because the council had kicked off. That wouldn't have happened if they hadn't.
Fantastic.
You know,
when will they learn?
Yeah. So bands, that's the solution, isn't it? You know, to PR. So you've been on tour, haven't you? You've been in Germany. Now I saw a video of you in Germany when you pranked your TA with the van getting stolen.
Don't mention the van.
Oh my God! So if you haven't seen it, look at the Massive Wagons Facebook page. I mean, but you took it a bit extra. It wasn't just stealing the van and moving the van so it wasn't there. So your tour manager came out, no van. Yeah. But you drove it past at one point, which is the funniest thing I think.
Andy drove it away, yeah. And Rookie saw it and went,
"It's a van!
It's a van!"
Chased it
Proceeding to do the most pathetic sprint after our van you've ever seen.
There's pranks, and that just, the planets aligned for that one. Because it was all done on the fly, really. We didn't really have a plan for it, but we were just making it up and winding him up more, and he bit so hard.
But he's watched it back. And he said, "I can't believe you're all laughing." And I can't believe I didn't know. Why are you all laughing? And I didn't twig. It was
I
a
have
joke.
to say that the funniest part in the whole video for me was, we'll have to phone the police. What's their number? 999.
999.
Fantastic. So watch that. So how did that tour feel? I mean, that was going into Germany, different field, different audience, a great
definitely.
rock crowd in Germany, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, it was amazing to go with a band like Thunder, who we're genuine. We've followed them for a long time, and we like what they do on and off stage, how they conduct themselves. So we learnt a lot in that regard, and also to get to play. We've never been to Germany before, so to piggyback on a band like that and play to that many people every night was perfect for us. Because if we had to go and start from square one, it's always a bit unpredictable. Yeah. So we had a guaranteed audience, which is what it's about.
So do you learn from these guys? I mean, you've been around a bit now, but do you still learn from people like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. You're always learning. The consummate professionals, just so good. How he sings like that every night is beyond me.
Oh yeah.
He's incredible, and he has got them in the palm of his hand every night. Yeah, they're such a good band. Yeah, and they were great to us. Yeah, really great.
They were very good.
Yeah, and the crew. It was just a massive experience. Yeah, travelling around in the van wasn't particularly nice, but
it's difficult.
There's character building.
It's a big country.
Absolutely.
I think every band has to do that at some point.
Yeah, you got to earn your spurs.
Yeah, definitely.
But you've earned your spurs because you're going to be touring with Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, that's
dust off the Stetson.
Absolutely. Sweet Home Alabama. I mean, that's a different crowd again, but you're going to unlock so much by playing to that audience, aren't you?
Well, I hope so. Yeah. Well, it's us and Quo and Skinnerd. Yeah. We certainly never played venues anywhere near that size before, and that's a completely different ball game. We've got another tour manager coming for that, who's experienced working in those venues. You have to bring your own sound guy, your own desk, your own monitors. Right. It's just going to be. We're doing a full day before it, of pre-production practicing to go in there, so we can't blow it, because although you support in a venue that big with bands that big, nobody cares about you. You've got to make the most of your opportunity on that stage. They're not going to help you. They don't want to. You're just there. You do whatever. You've been given that slot for you to make the most of. It's on your head.
And you've the energy that you have on stage as a band, and you in particular, you've made a name for yourself because of that. You're going to have these bigger stages.
I'm going to be screwed in about 10 years' time, aren't I? When I'm with false hip and
your hair will fall out like mine. You have to live on ibuprofen. But how do you feel about that? Are you nervous about the prospect of going on a tour with Leonard Skinner? Is it another feeling?
Not really. No. I mean, we do what we do. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but you do what you do whether you're playing to, a dozen people or. It makes no difference. You just have to do what you do, and people either buy it or they don't. And I think in an arena, we've played gigs to, big crowds before, and it's big stages, And I think we're looking forward to it more than anything. I can't wait to see what we do in a space like that. I think we were at the SECC one day, so that'll be.
I think the mind blower will be not the people or the sound or anything. They'll be going out on stage and going. Yeah. Because them places, even when you go and watch a band in there, because you don't go in them places every day, do you? No. Those massive venues. When you go and get your seat or you go where you stand, you always go, friggin' hell, this is big. Yeah. So it'd be nice to stand on the stage and go, wow, that's a lot of eggs to throw.
That's right. I don't think you get in with eggs anymore. Easter eggs this weekend. Topical. But there's the Quo connection as well then, because it's back to the Stag. So was that part of the way that you got that tour? Is that the Quo relationship there?
I don't know, to be honest. Our agent Ben secured it, and I think he's friends with the Quo's management. But I don't know. I don't know how we got it. I know we applied for it. We sort of contacted them, Skinner people, and there was a bit of toing and froing, but they don't let us near anything like that anymore.
no, we don't let us talk to people.
We don't talk to anybody anymore. Those days are well gone. Probably for the best as well.
But that's a nice contact, isn't it? You know, the Quo thing, and
if I'm honest, I think it was more a contact with Skinner than Quo, and that was just a happy,
just nice that happened.
Happy coincidence.
Right.
Yeah. I think it was through.
There you go. I don't know anything anymore, do I?
I think it's because we did something with Blackberry Smoke last year, and the Southern Rock community apparently is a bit smaller than you'd think, and I think there was words spoken from there, so I think that's where it stemmed from.
Right. Now there's a US connection. Is that something that's in your sights?
US. I don't know. It's a big one. Is the US, isn't it?
There's so much. The overheads are so high. We're going to America. You need guarantees. You know, unless you're a young band with no families and no mortgages and things like that, and you can live in a van for 3 months. I also think wow, to go from the UK to go to America is a bit foolhardy. I think Europe is just amazing. I think to go to America, you go to America when you know America wants you to go to America.
Yeah, okay.
You know, if you're going to go over there and try and crack America, it's a lot of money and a lot of time, and if it doesn't work, you can spend so much time over there, and you've lost so much ground here. You could be making, or in Europe.
Well, so if the time ever comes, then absolutely. Yeah. But it's not on the immediate
that's
agenda. Really.
When you think you have to gauge it.
Yeah.
When you feel you need to go, then you go at the right time. Going over there blind is
the thing that first surprised me when I started speaking to bands was that US bands can't wait to come across here. You know, and I think that the opposite of that is less true than it used to be. You know, where British bands are looking for the US. I don't think it's so much an objective.
I've got to be honest. I'm not. I know of plenty of American bands who are far more popular over here than they are in the USA. Yeah. And I think that's telling, really. You know, I mean, it's so big. It's just when people say like you crack America. The reason to crack America is because it's big enough to tour. You know, you could sustain yourself on just touring America because there's so many places to play. Yeah. Whereas if you're very popular in the UK, it's only so big. You know, you can't keep doing that. But in America, if you've cracked America, you've got a guaranteed circuit to continuously do. Yeah. But like Baz said, Europe's on our doorstep, so that's our immediate. You know, you don't want to go to America before. You should get things right at home before you do that.
Yeah, fair point. So without the US being a main objective, what's the main ambition now? Because you've achieved so much. What's the thing that's burning right now that you want to achieve?
A guitar-shaped swimming pool.
Yeah.
Don't fret over it.
A solid gold bog.
I guess Europe to start gaining the kind of traction and momentum in places like Germany and Sweden, but anywhere really that we have in the UK. So
the idea for us is to try and get 3 or 4 countries under your belt where you've got a great following, so we can then hopefully afford to do this full time
on a more permanent,
on a more permanent basis. You know, we can tour the UK, not bore everyone to death, then go there. You know,
and I suppose that's another question: is that you're very successful. At what point does the success sustain a career in music these days? It sounds so difficult.
Yeah, well, at that point, really, when it you have to be clever. It's not enough to be just a good musician now. You need to have a close eye on all areas of the business. I mean, like we have a very trusted team around us. We have a great manager and a great agent who's he's out to make a name for himself as well. So he's hungry.
Oh, everybody on the label.
Everyone at the record label. It's I think we're in a strong position, and it's taken all this time for us to build that around us, and now I think we can really have a good go at it.
Awesome. I think that's a great way to end. So there's lots ahead of you. I think Europe's the next thing by the sounds of it.
Hopefully.
And a guitar-shaped swimming pool.
One day, guitar case.
And a solid gold bog.
Yeah. And a solid gold bog.
Yeah.
I'll ring you off it one day if
Absolutely.
I get one.
Just fill a guitar case full of water.
And that'll do, yeah. That'll be more like it.
I'll look forward to that phone call. Thanks for speaking to us, guys. We can't wait for the show tonight.
No worries.
Folks, still on tour, and you'll see them later as well with Leonard Skinner. Buy tickets. The best band on the street right now. Cheers.